Welcome back for Season 3 of All Things Excellence, where women in leadership and business come to be challenged to learn and to grow. I'm your host, Chelsea DeBruin-Colbert, clarity coach, Enneagram guide, community builder, and your go-to girl for becoming the most excellent version of yourself. Here on All Things Excellence, we are obsessed with shining light on women who are doing the deep work and playing full out in the arena. We bring you their brilliance, their stories, and the magic they bring into the world. This season, I'm determined to step into the most powerful, profitable, peaceful, and aligned version of myself yet. So buckle up, because I'm bringing you with me. When one woman rises, we all get permission to rise as well. If you're ready to grow, rise, and step into your next level with effortless ease and love being surrounded by women who are doing the same, you're in the right place. Welcome to All Things Excellence. Hey, All Things Excellence fam. Today, I have my dream. No, I'm just kidding. It is my dream. I've talked about this so many times that one of my biggest goals and dreams right now is to have a house manager. And today we have Brenda Noon Schmidt, who helps entrepreneurs tenfold their life with time hacking and delegation strategies. She helps families find hero house managers, and it is one of her favorite vehicles to unlock abundance and balance for the founders that she works with. You live in Tucson, so you live close. I met you through Robin. We know and love Robin on here. Your husband is also an entrepreneur. You have 3 kids. Y'all love adventure. And you have been scheming abundance together in the digital marketing world for 2.5 decades. No jokes. Okay, you're a super connector. You have the Tenfold Your Life community on SKOOL, so people can get online with you. And you have the Tenfold Your Life podcast. And you're writing a book. Wait. Tell me your old brand though. Kick-ass mom. Wait, say
Yeah,
it.
kick-ass modern mom.
Kick-ass modern mom. So you're
there's remnants of it everywhere. It's like,
yes. Yeah. So if you see Kick-ass modern mom, that is you. Which when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh. 1, I know why Robin loves you. 2, I know we're gonna have a ton of fun. Like, this is gonna be a good time. So okay, let's go all the way back to there. How in the literal world did you and your husband get in the digital marketing world when it was barely starting? Are you both like very fun, creative people like this? How did this happen? Like, How did you get from there to, I now have this online school place. I help moms time hack and with delegation strategies and help them find the best house managers. How did you get from there to here?
My husband and I met when we were still in college. We started dating when we were 20 years old. I was the kid that had a job for like every nook and cranny of my life. I was paying my own way through college. So I would have like a Friday free. I'd pick up another shift Friday at some other place. Okay, here. I was like that curious person that we used to joke, like we'd be walking past a window and it would say, hiring, apply within. And my then boyfriend would joke, be like, oh, look, they're hiring. You could get another job. And so I was like that go-getter, ambitious teen who was taking a full schedule at college and then also picking up all these shifts at all these cool places that I like just get to hang out with people and get paid to have fun. And
yeah. Do you think that was because you were paying your own way for everything, or were you just kind of that person, or did you grow up around entrepreneurs? Did you grow up around like really hungry people that were going after life? Like, where do you think that came from?
Yeah, I grew up on an Arizona cattle ranch here in Arizona on the border of Mexico. My dad is still ranching. He's still doing it. And so it was a lot of like just being self-sufficient, growing up in an environment of being self-sufficient, family ranch, entrepreneur, kind of, sort of, except a ranch is a whole nother bucket of entrepreneurship.
Wait, but I think so I grew up on a farm. And as you're saying this, I'm like, oh man, in college I had, I don't know, 7 to 10 jobs. I don't know how many jobs I had. But I was always working because the cows always need fed. And I almost
never a person who felt, like if there was, like if I wanted to go on a cruise in college, right, with a bunch of my college friends, and I'm like, okay, it costs this amount of money. I just need to go pick up some extra jobs and go make that money. I never ever thought I could like just go make more money to earn it. It was never like, I don't have enough money for that. I can't do it. It was like, okay, where can I go and go make that? And so that was kind of like my existence. And then meanwhile, I'm dating my now husband, but then boyfriend. We started dating when we were 20. We dated for 9 years before we got married. He was the type that he only had like one job that he worked for somebody else and was like, I don't want to work for other people. I'm going to work for myself. I want to start my own business. So he started his own business while he was still in college. which he started his original business is a web design internet marketing company. So he
Okay.
started making websites before Google.
Wait a minute. This was
This
a
is like the
minute ago.
MySpace days.
I'm like, okay, this was pre-Facebook and MySpace. Like,
Yep.
I'm doing the
So his
timing.
like he would go to say like the local zoo and try and sell them a website. And their biggest objection was like, we're already in the phone book and on bus benches.
Oh my.
Like people didn't see the internet as an opportunity
Right,
yet.
right,
That
right.
was when
And
he
he was
started.
early adapter right there.
Yes. And so he was that kid. He grew up in Southern California. He was that kid that as a teenager, he was like 13, heard about this internet thing, convinced his parents to get a separate phone line so that he could dabble and play around with it, which is like now how we raise our kids, where it's like, what are you interested in? Cool, we'll make it happen. And
Yeah.
so he would go in these like old school chat room kind of places and talk to other people and talk nerdy internet speak with other people who are also excited about the internet, which I will tell you right now, with all of the vibe coding and all the stuff you could do now with AI, he was telling me, oh my gosh, I haven't been this excited about computers since I was 13 years old. So
Oh
he's
my
like not
gosh.
even sleeping. Every night he stays up late playing with it.
I love that. Okay, but I think you said something that some people are like, I got to rewind that and listen to that again. And some people are like, I absolutely missed it. That is how you are working with your kids now, is the fact that, so I don't judge me. You can judge me. It's fine. I love the Kardashians because they fascinate me that they've made so many billion-dollar businesses. But there was this episode that I am obsessed with where Kim was like, every year I try and take one of my kids on one of my business trips because I want to show them to find the joy that they find their greatest joy in life and create a business out of it. And that's how my parents raised us, was this
Hmm.
exact thing. And so I think,
Yeah, my parents did not raise me that way.
yeah,
They were like, you want
yeah.
to be a rodeo clown? No, that's a terrible idea, Brenda.
Just
Wait,
wasn't
you
that
want
like
to
your
be
secret like desire to be in the circus or something though?
yes, I wanted to be in the circus. I wanted to be a rodeo clown. I wanted to be a stunt person
Yeah,
for movies. I
yeah,
wanted to,
yeah.
yeah. Anyways,
My
they were
nephew
like,
who's
no, those
4,
are all terrible ideas. Stop. No.
yeah, he wants to be the superhero that flies. And I said, "Oh my gosh, he's either going to invent some way, like some backpack that we're going to fly, or he's going to be a pilot, or like I can't wait to see how that." But yeah,
Yeah.
so that's like
But you
that's
could
something
tell
that
like all those early interests, like I was I was not afraid of risk.
yeah,
I love just
yeah.
trying things. I love learning things.
Hmm. So
Last
how does
year,
that look like with your kids though right now? Like give people an example of, you know what I mean? I think that's so out
we
of the
are we
paradigm
are
for most people.
we're
Like,
trying out homeschooling.
yeah,
However,
mm,
because I'm the outsourcing mom,
yeah,
I am outsourcing homeschooling.
okay.
So this has been the journey that we've been on this school year, and month to month it's different. And I'm okay with that. We're figuring it out.
But
And
are
so
you homeschooling to help shine a light more on what they're interested in and help them find their thing?
we have been interested in homeschooling for a while just because I just don't love traditional school, like
Yeah.
sit in a chair all day and,
Yeah.
not move your body and don't be outside and like have to raise your hand for everything. Like I don't love all that. However,
Yeah.
my kids have been going
Mm.
to a charter school for the past few years. That's very entrepreneurial, very patriotic, like classical education. They don't do new math and weird common core stuff. Like they're actually doing old fashioned way like we used to learn,
Oh my
which is
gosh, I'm gonna have to
awesome.
move to Tucson. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's Dr. Kevin Leman started all these schools.
I love Dr. Kevin Lehman. I mean, I was reading his books
Yeah,
25 years ago.
I
Dr.
know.
Kevin Lehman,
He
he's
was
like,
one of the first speakers I saw. I went to a youth leadership conference for 4-H when I was a teenager and we saw him speak and
H.
I was like that guy, yeah, 4-H.
He's like the godfather of the birth order books. Is
Yep. Yeah.
yes, yes.
So his schools are based on all this stuff in his books, which is like old fashioned parenting, which is like kids need to be responsible for their own stuff. They need to be held accountable. They need to earn things. They need to,
My
you
husband
know,
works in a school. Our life is with teenage boys all day long. I'm so obsessed with this. I didn't know he had schools. This is
yeah.
incredible. Okay.
Even in Colorado.
Yeah.
There's some up in Phoenix. I don't know if there's any by you, but check it out.
Yeah. I can be
Um,
mobile.
yeah,
Okay,
super
so that's
cool.
incredible.
So
So
as
that's
far
kind of
as
how
like
y'all are
a
doing now.
traditional school that like we used to be in the school district that's like near our house, ranked very high in the state, but they do Common Core and it's just like backwards. And also we didn't love when during the pandemic we got to see like exactly what they're learning. Like they stopped doing the Pledge of Allegiance, like stuff like that. I'm like, nope, I'm out. Like we're not on board with any of this kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
we switched. Well, we did homeschool for a little while then, but that was pandemic homeschooling. It was not the real version. And
Yeah.
like it was way harder then. For anybody who tried homeschooling during the pandemic, that was not a real version. That was way harder. There was
Okay.
like less resources and less people to meet up with.
The
But
pandemic created a surge in resources and communities for homeschooling parents, wouldn't you say?
yeah, I will tell you, we are part of a chapter down here in Tucson that there's a couple chapters of in our city, but the chapter we're a part of has 350 homeschooling families enrolled in the chapter. And there's a bunch of people who participate in the chapter activities that are not even members.
Wow.
That's how huge
How
homeschooling
big
has
it is.
become. And not and they've had like 100 families add just this year. So a lot of people like are moving out of traditional schooling and into this model. I was
Have you,
just at an event up at Andy Elliott's facility, and I was talking to Andy up there about the yeah, and like there was Teen Mastermind Live. I took my teenager to that, and
gosh, I just went there for the first time a few months ago with Dr. Benjamin Hardy when he was there.
yes, I love
Such a
Dr.
cool
Benjamin Hardy.
facility.
Yeah.
It's the coolest facility.
So it was like interesting talking to them.
Yeah.
They like it's so cool what they're doing is so many he homeschools, a bunch of the people on his staff homeschool, that whole facility. They're adding on like a youth hangout area for all the homeschool kids to go
Yeah.
and hang out during the day and go learn stuff and brilliant. And so I think that's the future, like the future of a lot of these businesses that are really thriving and growing really quickly is because they're honoring the changing times and they're having it where it's like a holistic family experience. Like there's a gym on site. They're going to have like
Mm.
basically a school, like a micro school on site for their kids, like to be able to learn business and meet other kids. And yeah, that's the
You
future is like
feel,
having that kind of environment instead of
yeah.
factory version that we're still existing as right now, like
Yeah.
industrial revolution.
Yeah. What I also I feel like we are, I don't want to say that we're going backwards. I want to say we are returning to with a lot of wisdom. I feel like we're returning to this more like 1850s small communities, like
It's cyclical.
local
Things are cyclical.
resources,
Yeah.
right? Like we went, okay,
You like books. I already can
no,
tell. You ever read The Fourth Turning?
the fourth churning?
Yeah, put
No,
that on
and
your
I've read
list.
thousands of books. The fourth churning. I'm writing this
Yeah,
down.
and there's an updated version called The Fourth Turning is Here or something like that. Anyways, it just
Turning,
talks about the
turning.
turning. Yeah, it's like the cyclical nature of human existence across the
Mm.
world and the different generations and
Yeah.
how those are like different archetypes.
Yeah.
This is like definitely not about house managers yet.
Yeah.
We'll get there,
Yeah.
people. You stick
Yeah.
around.
It is interesting to me though because this shows me. So what I love is I'm like, well, this isn't just a woman who's telling you need a time hack and that you need to delegate and you need to have a house manager. This is a peek into your beliefs and like what do you need your clients to believe to buy into your time hacks and your delegation strategies? And it seems to me like you're not trying to time hack your family so that way you can be work more and be more profitable. You're trying to time hack your life so that way you can have much more intentional time with your family.
Yeah.
And this is what
Everything we do
like
in
living it
business.
out.
Yeah. Everything we do
You're
in
living
business is so that we can actually go and play more as a
do
family.
the thing.
Like
Yeah.
I want to be a giant kid alongside my kids and
Yeah.
just go be curious, especially
Yeah.
in nature and new places. And I just want to be a big old giant child. And so everything that I have figured out as far as how to delegate at home, how to take a lot of the same business, all I do is I borrow everything that we've learned from business and I apply it to the household. I treat the household as if it's another business.
Okay.
So it's like creating a family mission statement, having your values clearly defined, like knowing what an aligned team member, what values they have. So you don't just hire for the job, but you're actually hiring for what their values are and how they complement you and how you're raising your kids and how you want to
Yeah.
do your marriage and all these kind of things. And so maybe the teenager down the street is available, but maybe you don't want her around your kids. And maybe
Yeah.
she doesn't have the same values. So thinking a little differently. So you hire for the person and then you teach them the skills they need instead
That's
of,
what we did with my team right now.
yeah. So
Yeah. I was like, I don't really care what they're capable of as long as they're hungry to learn, but I do care about their character.
yeah. And I also nerd out. Like, I know you love like human design, Enneagram, all that kind of
All of
stuff.
it.
And so I love
Mhm.
taking all that kind of information also and making sure it complements the
Yeah.
husband, the wife, everybody involved. So
Yeah.
there's not gaps in
Yeah.
like You don't want like a whole room full of loop openers and there's not a single person to close a loop around. So it's like
Yeah.
if you're an entrepreneur family and you or your spouse or both of you are loop openers and you struggle to close loops, like hire a house manager who's a very good loop closer because then they
We
close all the
talk
loops for
about
you.
what is a loop opener and a loop closer. Just all this is all I need y'all to know is that when I dated this guy, his name was Matt, and he came to me one day. We're adults. We both own our own homes at this point. We're adults, and he said, "You know, my dad once said to me that there are openers and closers in every marriage, and you're the opener and I'm the closer." And I said, "What are you even talking about?" And he goes, "You like walk around opening things like the kitchen cabinets and you get the stuff out of them and you get distracted. And I'm the one who has to walk behind you and close them." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, we're so perfect for each other." I actually think he was really annoyed with me. So that that's what I think of when you say this. But tell me, what is this? Okay, explain this concept.
So, one of my favorite strength finding assessments is the Colby A index. And it's used specifically for business, but I absolutely love using it for homes and for finding good house managers. You can go to their website, Colby A index. They have a couple different ones, but the Colby A index is my favorite. And it just shows like some people are fast starters. So, like I was telling you, I was like, I want to be a rodeo clown. I want to be in the circus. Like some people don't see the risk and they just go. And other people want all the information, they want to consider it, and then they want the checklist from somebody else that then they plug in all the pieces and they complete the tasks. Like they don't want to be the one to jump in before they know what's going on. And
Okay.
so I refer to that. Well, I mean, it's like a common kind of term. I didn't coin it, but so loop openers, those fast starters, the people who are like idea people, they can constantly like
That's my
get.
middle brother. There's three of us. I'm the oldest. My middle brother Brett is the ultimate fast starter loop opener.
Yeah. So it's like you're like, oh my gosh, I got this amazing idea. I know, like you know the first 5 steps to start implementing,
Yeah.
but then like, but then you're like, okay, I need somebody else to like do quality
Mhm.
control and follow through and make sure that like it keeps going the way I intended. And so that's the people who are the loop closers. So different people have different strengths in each, and neither one is bad, neither one is good. They're just different types of people.
And the other one's a
So
loop closer.
yeah. And so in your business, like if people own their own business, a lot of times entrepreneurs can be those fast start idea people, which means they need to hire the implementers that can close all those loops for them.
You
And
shouldn't hire a bunch of fast starters or no one is.
it can be so enticing to surround yourself by a bunch of other fast starters because you'll be like, I have this great idea. And then these other people are like, that's a great idea. You should definitely do that.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're like cheering you on and hyping you, but they may not be the people to implement it.
I think this
Sometimes they
is
are the
why,
implementers, but you got to make sure that they are.
yeah, this is why I have VA services because
Yeah. So the same in
I
our
work
house.
with so many loop
So if
openers.
we feel like
Oh
we
my God.
have 8,000 started projects around our house that we still haven't finished and
Yeah.
it fills us with dread to keep seeing them in every corner and nook and cranny and garage and backyard and everywhere, then hire a loop closer. And all you do is you take them out and you like cast the vision. You're like, this is what I am envisioning with this space. You can even show them like Pinterest, House, whatever your idea board, like pull up some pictures, give them an idea, and
Hmm.
then let them have at it and let them implement
Hmm.
that. Let them come up with a system. So it's like my house managers that I've had, I'm like, okay, my pantry, this is how I'm visualizing it. This is like what I want to feel when I walk into this space. This is how I want to use it. This is like, I want the kids to be able to reach the
Hmm.
stuff at this level. I want other stuff at this higher level and lower level, and,
Can you
make
be
it
a little
happen.
both though? Because so in my own life, I am the loop opener, but I am a loop closer for other people.
When you get off of this, go take your Colby A index.
I have to, the visionary integrator quiz? You heard of that? You're either a visionary or an integrator. So the visionary is essentially the fast starter, and the integrator is the loop closer. I break dead even every time I take that because I am my own loop opener.
Yeah, you could be really even on all those things.
I am so loop my the biggest holdback in life is like I am such a loop closer for people. Like when you're saying people telling you their vision of this is how they want their pantry, this is how they want their website, this is the structure and everything they want created. My greatest challenge in life is that I can create a vision, but I also see their vision and know how to execute it. So my current growth is delegating the loop closing to my team. and not
Yes.
having to be
And
everyone's
I will
further.
say for many, many years before I started my own business, I
Yeah.
worked behind the scenes of my husband's businesses.
Yeah, so that's how that is that how you got to hear,
He
like, he's
was
starting
like,
that business and
yeah,
you're
he
working
was
with
like
him.
idea guy and I was that person that like it would drive me crazy to not have the follow through on things or like did you follow up with that person or did you whatever happened to that thing like
Yeah,
I am a super connector of people because I am like, oh wait, they no, that thing needs to happen, there needs to be follow through over there and there's like more ripple effect that needs to happen. And so I'm a quick start, but I do get annoyed without the follow through, which is why it's like I'm either going to waste my time doing it myself or I can delegate that and then I'm like, okay, cool. Like it's happening and then now I can move on to the next thing. And so I'll find that I can be very good at the follow through for other
yeah,
people, but I don't actually enjoy it. What lights me up is the start on the new things. Like that's exciting. But I will close loops just because it bugs me for them to stay open. So that's where if I take that test, I will have way more follow
oh,
through than my husband does. He has like none. He's like a
uh-huh,
level 1. I'm probably like
uh-huh,
a 5 or 6, I forget what it is.
yeah,
But then we're both like a 9 in like the quick start.
okay. I really only love, like, I have this quote in my office that says, "She loves the smell of coffee, bloomed roses, and new beginnings." Like, I love new beginnings and starting. I don't love the other, but it's so necessary, or what's the point?
Yeah. I used
Like, I just
to
believe in retention.
One of the things, like, I was telling my daughter this, how I was like, one of the things I loved about all those jobs that I worked in college was I
Yeah.
love that feeling of being new.
The
And
feeling
some
of
people
being
hate that. Some
new.
people are like, I hate being the new person. Can I just be like indoctrinated already? Can I just already like know how to do everything and not
Yeah.
like struggle and make mistakes? For me, I just feel like, oh, like I'm such a curious person and a question
Yes.
asker. So when you're new, you get to just keep asking a bunch of questions and it's allowed. So
Yes. Yes. I actually like
and
sometimes
you get
they
to
what
like
is that
dabble in
quote
things
about,
that
like,
actually aren't really like
yeah.
your responsibility, but you get to just like peek your nose in things anyways. And I love that. I love
Mm,
being curious. And so I love that feeling of being new at a job, but then I also love that feeling of trying new things in business too. And that's like finding that happy medium of like, okay, now also stay focused. Stay focused on what your intention is and don't get shiny object syndrome. And like, if you're a business owner, it's like, cool, there's always going to be new exciting things. You don't have to care about all of them.
yeah.
So
No,
I would
no
say like
new
the
oh,
story, it's like I had all these jobs in college. My husband started his business.
you're helping
Um,
him.
yeah, he graduated from U of A. He was in U of A marching band. Actually,
You
and we
started
met
having kids. How old are your kids now?
13, 10, and 7. We dated for 9 years. Then we got married, had our kids like a year later, so something like that. And I actually worked I was not a business owner for a good while. I actually worked in corporate finance. I worked with investments. I did New York Stock Exchange hours from Arizona. So I would wake up at like 4 a.m. because I would work like
What?
opening bell in New
Yeah.
York.
So your
Um,
husband is entrepreneuring it and you're doing
yeah,
corporate finance.
I did. Yeah, I went to school for graphic design, which
Okay.
was also funny because it was like Mad Men style where you like make a mock-up board. It was old
Um,
fashioned. Like they don't use that anymore.
yes. Yes.
Now you just tell an AI robot what you
Yeah.
want it to make you and it
Yeah.
makes you something way better than I would have ever made after a week long in my
Yeah.
classes.
It is
But
interesting.
but yeah, so it was like left brain, right brain. So then I went and I worked for this finance company. I was there for a really long time until I started having kids, and I was like, I don't want to work these hours with kids. It's like,
Yeah.
dropping my daughter off at daycare at 5:30 in the morning. My husband was entrepreneur, so he's going to all these, you know, mixers and things in the evening. So we would go to bed before he even got home, and then we would wake up before he woke up.
Yeah.
So we just
Y'all were
wouldn't even
ships in the
see each
night.
other.
Like
Yeah.
you're
And I would wake up and take our daughter, so he wouldn't even see her either because we were both asleep before he got home. And I was just like, I don't, and we love travel. And I was held to like a certain number of vacation days. And every time my baby gets pink eye at the daycare, I got to take her home, even though she's fine. Everybody, they get pink eye. It's
yeah.
fine. But like, nope, I got to burn 3 vacation days because my kid has to sit home with pink eye. And so I was like, like, how am I going to ever travel? Like, I want to travel. So it's just not
Yeah.
aligned with our goals anymore. So,
What is your Enneagram?
mm,
Are you a
7,
seven?
8, one of the
Seven?
loud ones.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So yeah, I was like the
Well,
professional
so
fun
at
haver
7,
one.
it's like they hate being confined,
Yeah.
you know? Like, the idea of being confined is
Need
just
options.
yes, yes, like Robin's a 7.
So
Anything's gotta
we
be
we
confined.
like planned for that transition.
Okay.
So I knew that I wasn't going to stay with that company,
Yeah.
but financially we were going to have to move to being a one income
Mm.
family, not just one income family, but an entrepreneur income, which is irregular because that was in the new budding years of his business where he was working nonstop. I think he had some employees by then.
Well, and at this
Um,
point, people know they need a website because 'cause we're talking this is
yep, by then,
a
yeah.
decade ago.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, for
everybody
sure.
needs a website.
Yeah.
We're all Googling everything. Facebook's here, Instagram has started. We were
Yeah,
using
I think
Instagram for
Instagram was
filters.
brand new
Yeah,
and it
we were
was
using it to
not part of Facebook at that time.
no, we were using it to make our food look good.
I'll take pictures of my baby and then put
Yeah.
weird filters that made her
Filters
look
on it?
pink.
Yes. Yes, yes. But at least
But
everybody's knowing they need a website, so we're there.
yeah, by this point, a lot of people have paid somebody else for a website that is a piece of
Mhm.
crap and needed to be
Yes.
redone. That's the
So
stage that they're
that's
at.
where he
Like
was
this is
like
where like people are now like I had my cousin do it
yeah.
and now he's holding my domain hostage and
Yes.
or
Yes.
like all these little scams with hosting and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
So that's what
Yeah.
he was dealing with, and that's where he was building his business then. And
Yeah.
you're deciding, "I'm coming home because
I'm
we
like,
can
that's
like,
it. This is
quality
not
of
the
life,
schedule for me. Yep.
there's
So
no point."
then for a good while I was just a stay-at-home mom and I would say I'm the stay-at-home mom who's never home because as soon as I wasn't bound by a schedule, I took
Mm.
my daughter on 26 trips in her first year.
Where all were you going? Was your husband going with you, or you're just like, "Hey."
Some of them he didn't. We
Yeah.
would just everybody who couldn't come and visit, like this was like the first baby of the family. So everybody who couldn't come out and visit us, we went to them. And we just traveled
Oh,
and
okay.
we figured out the points game. That was when I got
Okay.
into points game, which is like extreme couponing for travel, which we are
Yeah?
still super into. Because we were like, okay, wait, we have a kid now. There's got to be a way to do this for cheaper. And we figured out like Southwest Companion Pass. And well, she
Yes,
was a lap
yes.
child at the time. So then it's like, my husband can book a flight with points. I'm a free companion. She's a free
Okay.
lap child, free everybody.
So you're getting into hacking at this point because you're going, "We are a one income family on an entrepreneur
I
budget."
hack everything. Every
And
chance I get, I'm
so
like,
it was like, in
hack.
order to live this, like, you can do this. You can quit your job and you can stay home with our daughter, but you've got to figure out how to hack these things so we can keep living the
Yeah.
life that we want to live,
Like
like a
every
quality of
single
life.
thing, I see it as like, here's a thing I want to do. How do I make that possible? Not, I can't, but
But
there's
again,
got to
that
be a
goes
way and
back
I'm going to figure out how.
to, I think that that's that like farmer rancher mentality that we both grew up where we never
Mhm.
saw anything as impossible. It was like, well, we need a new combine, so how are we going to figure this out? We need a new
Yeah.
this, so how are we going to figure this out?
Or
How are we
even
going to
it's
create more
like,
income?
like, like
Yes.
this truck broke, but these cattle need hay.
So like,
So
how are we
figure
going to
out a
fix
way to
this
get
out?
them the hay because they can't not have hay. Like
Yes.
you're
I
just going to
guess
drag
maybe
it.
when you grow up on that farm ranch life, not figuring it out is actually never not an option. So you become a very figure outable
Yeah.
child.
You become
And then
very resourceful for sure. You're just
very
like,
yes. Actually, I think sometimes I tease I'm too resourceful for my own good, but very resourceful.
but that's
Yes.
hacking. It's just
But
like,
that is like, so that's,
yeah.
is that what developed this? And then all of a sudden were you like, hot dang, I should probably just bring this to the world?
Well, we were, because of our entrepreneur schedule, my husband was involved in all these different
Yeah.
groups.
Yeah.
He started getting involved in charity stuff. It's like as his business grows, he has his team. There's all these opportunities to go and meet people. And some of them I would go to, some of them I
Mhm.
couldn't. We didn't have family to be able to watch. When it was just my daughter at the time, we didn't have family. So we really quickly were like, okay, who do we know that's also doing this that doesn't have family? How are they doing it? Go ask them. And so they refer us their babysitters. We started using babysitters really early on. So I talked to families who, like their kids are like 8 years old. They've still never used a babysitter that's not a family member, which, that's cool if you got family, but also don't be restricted in what you can do in life by
Yeah.
the support that you do or do not have. So go find the support. There's really amazing people. They're like some of those babysitters that we had whenever my daughter was really tiny, we are still in contact with them. Like they're always going to be family members. And so now like one of our old babysitters has her own kids now in Texas. Like, and so it's just so cool that like these are just
I think
extended
people
family
discredit
members.
that though. Because we have, my dad's one of seven and my mom's one of four, that everybody lives around everybody, but we always had babysitters. Because my mom just never wanted to, she said she just wanted us to have an experience outside of family. Like she's like, I just want to pay somebody so it's not like this obligatory thing.
Hmm.
I was a nanny for a long time,
Hmm.
and literally like the necklaces I'm wearing, my nanny family sent me this a couple days ago for my birthday, but I haven't nannied for them in
Aw.
13 years. But
Yeah.
like we talk all the time. Like we see each other, we
You become
travel.
family. Yeah.
They
And
are
that's what I
family.
tell people when
Literally.
it comes to a
Yeah.
house manager is like a lot of people have this hang up
Family.
about like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, this stranger's going to be in my house 3 times a week, like
They're
touching
not
my
going to be a stranger
touching
long.
my underwear and putting it away and like seeing the dirtiest parts of me in my house. But it's like, no, these are actually people like when you find a really aligned fit person that speaks your language, then like they're the family members that you've been missing all along and they really quickly become a good family member. And I tell people do a trial period when you hire
So
people
wait,
because
let's take, for people that don't know, like what is a house manager? What do they do? Like for the people that are like, but what is this a second? Like who is
yeah,
this person? What are they actually doing? I
a
think a
house
lot of
manager
people don't
is
even know. They're out of the paradigm of what is a house manager?
house managers help you hire in your household and you may have already had one and you didn't even know it.
Yeah.
I tell a
I
lot
was
of
like, I
people,
know I've had them.
right? So like some people have that nanny that's way more than a nanny. Like you were probably that nanny for the family
I,
you worked with
I was like
where
managing the
you
construction
weren't
of the
just
basement while
watching
dropping
kids.
off the dry cleaning,
Yes,
picking up the
exactly.
groceries, and keeping
You're
the kids.
running errands, you're chopping up onions, you're like running
Getting
loads of
dinner started,
laundry. Yeah. You're like picking up dog food,
Valentine's
anything that
cards.
has to do. So it's like not just
Yeah.
because that's what I'll tell people is like a lot of people have a nanny plus, which is like
Yeah.
basically the next like you go from nanny
Yes.
plus and then you're house manager.
Yes.
So um
Mm.
the cool thing is that some people they don't need a nanny anymore. Maybe their kids are older and they're pretty self-sufficient, but they still need some of that stuff done that they don't have to do it themselves. Especially if you own a business or
Yeah.
you're pretty high level in your career where you're like, I know what my time is worth. This is how much I get paid per hour to like work with my clients and I can pay somebody $20 an hour to do the stuff in my house
Yeah.
that I really just want to be able to come home and relax and not have to do $20 per hour jobs. And this is where it's like, if we go back, like my family, my ranching family, they came to Arizona territory in the 1850s and homesteaded here. And there was all these other families that came with them. And our
Yeah.
property still has like the original saddle room and the blacksmith shop and all these things. There was a person that specialized in each thing. And so it wasn't like my great great grandfather like having to make all the horseshoes and having to make the saddles and ride the horses and do the things like he did his thing and then he
You did it
defaulted
well.
to this guy to do that thing and that guy to do that thing and they all work together this village mentality. So people have always leaned on each other for
Mhm.
multiple roles. We have friends of ours who live in like a multi-generational household where there's like the great grandmother who hangs out with the littlest kids and then like the and so there's like people cooking and people doing laundry and people doing childcare and people doing all these roles in the household. And it's not just the parents in charge of all of these things. There's everybody pitching in that's at their level. And so I'll tell people is like, it has never been where one person or a couple has been in charge of all these things. It used to be
It
this more
never was like that.
village
It really
mentality.
never
Yeah.
was.
It used to be
Is
like
it?
people had these
Yeah.
support structures in place so that
Mhm.
they could focus on what they were good at.
Like the parents are the in the thick of it people making income. The grandparents or whoever, like if you don't have your parents around you,
Yeah.
whatever, there's so many people out there willing to fill the role of aunt, uncle, grandparents. It takes all of those roles. Those are the people that are, I feel like, getting the more. My mentor, who she's one of my best friends, but also could be my mom. I'm dead middle of her kid's age. She
Hmm.
said to me probably 2 years ago, she said, I really realize how my kids are in the thick of it. They're working and paying for their kids' lives. And now's my time to be present for the wisdom drops for my grandkids. And I'm like, we got to get back to that ecosystem.
Yeah, totally.
Like we have a lot of parents. My husband runs a 7 through 12 soccer program, and a lot of the parents are like, always, thank you so much, because we give their kids a lot of intentional time. Well, that's our role. Like we see that,
Mhm.
like
Yeah, you're
that's
part of
like the
that
role
village.
God
Yeah.
has chosen for us in their
Yeah.
life. Like, yeah, like, hey man, that's our role. Like it's,
Yeah. And here's the thing now is like when I used to work at that finance company, it was like this
yeah,
big building with a bunch of cubicles. There
yeah,
was a guy that they paid just to come in and water all the plants and make it look nice. There's a guy
yes,
like
absolutely,
completely in charge of plants for that whole office space. That was separate
absolutely,
from the cleaning company that came in every Saturday and emptied everybody's trashes and like made it
yeah,
look all
yeah.
tidy. Well, now we are working from our houses. I don't have a plant watering guy and the cleaning people that come in on Saturday, right? Which is why it's like that's why you need a house manager because
Hmm.
you're working and living in your same exact space. So you need people to come and help, just like there used to be in these
But
offices.
there literally always was that though before. Like never ever in the history
Always.
of
And like
time.
we
There's
kind of like morphed into this and all of a sudden our
this like
brains like
I
kind
do
of
it all
adapted real
thing.
quickly to this
Yeah,
idea that and I'll do this now. Okay, and I do this now too. And okay, I do
I
this
think
now. But
we
it's like
adapted
impossible.
quickly, but I don't think we adapted well because I think that's why there's so much like
Well, everybody's
burnout and
burning
people are
out.
spun out and people aren't happy and
Everybody's burning out. Like,
hmm
yeah, there's so much struggle and
yeah,
this is the wake up call is like the reason if you're listening, the reason why you feel burnt out and the reason why you're struggling is because you get to have help. People always have had help. You get to have help. And in the past, like those people like the families that we know that have the multi-generational households, well before you would trade the lodging for the help. Now we're just trading a different type of energy. Now we're trading a little bit of money. They use that money for their own lodging and
yes,
then they still give us the help. So it's like a
yes,
slightly displaced way that we're trading energy, but
hmm
it's all just energy. Money is just a form of energy that we're
hmm
trading,
yep,
saying, I'm going to give you this type of energy because I value what you bring to me. And then they provide their value.
yes,
And I'll say the two best demographics to tap into to get this type of help college kids, if you live in a college town, ding, 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 like so many go getter college kids. And then they can work it around their schedule. They love a job like this. They don't want
yeah.
to go work at Starbucks, Target, all these kind of places whenever
No,
they
they
can
don't.
come and do like, you know, have
But
a
you help
flexible
people
schedule.
find, do you help people find them or do you help people realize who they exactly need and find them?
Yeah, I have a done with you service, like a one-on-one coaching where I walk them through and I'll be like, okay, let's figure out exactly what you need in your business, in your home. Like, what's your
Yeah,
schedule looking like? What do we need
yeah,
to trim? What do we need to optimize? Who are we going to find to plug the holes? I no longer do placements. I was doing placements for a while. I no longer do placements. I find that it was actually not that fulfilling because
mm,
it's very transactional. I have all the fun of talking to these amazing people and seeing
yeah.
how amazing like, oh, such cool
So
people out there.
you're really coaching people through the process of finding that right person for their home.
Yes. Because
Yeah.
it's like if I can empower you to find an
Yes.
awesome long-term house manager, you can take those skills and hire any team member in any position going forward. You can
Agreed.
hire somebody in your
Agreed.
business, you can hire a
Yeah.
personal chef, you can like
Lots of skills.
anything. You can like people who are parents, they can use those skills to teach their kids how to be good in interviews and hire well in other companies. Or even like if their kids are starting their own businesses, how to hire good people. Like I
Hmm.
love empowering people how to find good aligned fit people because from that they can use it to build teams everywhere around them instead of me being the one that I'm like, here's this amazing person, go plug them in. And then later they're like, okay, I need another one. And like,
Yeah.
here, I want to give you the recipe. I love giving people the recipe and seeing people make amazing things out of it instead of just handing you cookies.
Real quick, before we dive back in, I want to share something I created for the women who are growing, but still kind of feel like they're doing it alone. If that statement just hit, then this is for you. I've never felt so aligned and so alone. Is the message I kept hearing as more and more women were falling in love with their life doing what they were born to do. They were craving that like-minded, iron sharpening iron relationship with other women who were as focused, powerful, and determined to be positive as they were. And that is why I created the Growth Collective. It's our All Things Excellence book club community where you don't have to read the book because audio and PDF Cliff Notes are provided for you. There's a community for you to connect and network with other growth-minded women, plus 2 monthly Zooms where you receive connection and live coaching from me. Head on over to chelseadbc.com/book club to join us. All right, let's get back into it because what you're hearing today is exactly why spaces like the Growth Collective exist. We were never meant to grow alone. Okay, so let's talk about, so I think absolutely anyone could hire a house manager. And we were talking before how, so everybody knows my goal for this year is to bring a house manager in. And the reason, there's a lot of reasons behind it, but I always said like regardless, we need one just because our schedule. We kind of sleep here. I feel like I work right here in this space and I run in and out and make a mess of our house. So I kind of need somebody to help me with that. And then my husband's pretty much at the school from like 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. every single day, Monday through Friday. And then we come home on the weekends and we go, oh my gosh, who did this to our house? Like that's what I feel like at the end of every week, which is kind of wild because my husband used to have this, we don't go to bed without with dishes in the sink rule. And now sometimes I'm like, we are falling across the finish line. Like we went to bed at 11:30 last night, falling across the
Yeah.
finish line from a soccer game.
Like dishes can wait. Just get
They,
sleep.
you know, we've had to get there where we're just like, we're falling across the finish line. We
Dude, paper plates, game changer.
die of, we might die of like being too tired or, we're lucky, honestly, if we even eat at home. We usually really eat at the school, but there's all these itty bitty tiny little things like the 20-minute conversation I had with the water delivery guy the other day about the water company being bought out and what's happening. I'm like, why is somebody else not having this conversation? The laundry, the laundry, literally the laundry, like all of this stuff. And I think people look at that and they see, oh, you hiring someone to just keep the house picked up. I'm not even talking about deep cleaning the house. I'm not even talking about your housekeeper. I'm talking about keep the house picked up, make sure everything's going and flowing the way that it should be, make sure the dog gets a walk even on days when you're not here. I do not see that as a luxury. I see that as, I told you, I told her, I was like, I see that as a dentist. Like you got to go to the dentist every 6 months, get your teeth cleaned, make sure your oral health is good because it connects to your whole body. I see this as like the key to holistic health in your home, keeping everything going and flowing when life is full, which I feel like life is always pretty full. At least our life is full.
Yeah. I
So
think
what,
the
how are
famous last
you?
words everybody has is like, just as soon as dot dot dot, I'm
Yeah, when I
going to
get there,
whatever, right?
then,
Yeah.
yes, when I get there,
I have
then,
a question for
yeah,
you. You said this is
yeah,
on your goal for this
this is on
year
my
to
goal
get a
for
house
this year.
manager.
Yeah.
What do you think you need in order for that to happen?
Well, honestly, a lot of it is I have a few different people that because I've always had one probably since I was 24. I bought a house when I was 24, and I've always had somebody in my house doing all these things. I have had a more challenging time finding someone really consistently where we live because I really, oh, you know what? I always found that perfect girl in college that I had her for several years. And so where I live, that is not as prevalent. It's a lot of moms with a lot of kids. And I live in Queen Creek. I feel like you would probably know where that is, right?
Mhm.
And so it demographically, it's been a little more challenging to find and keep.
My other favorite
I'm
demographic
with
to
you
tap
on the
into, yeah.
college kid thing because I feel like they're more willing to just do anything. When I
College
say
kids.
just do anything, I'm like, I need you to empty the dishwasher, fill the dishwasher, take Chloe for a walk, swing by Sprouts, pick up some creamer, unpack my inventory, sticker it, load it on the shelf,
Mhm.
enter in these invoices, and you know what I mean? Make up the snack bags for my husband's soccer team tonight. Like that's like the list. I'm like, okay, those are the things that I could be definitely do my laundry. Absolutely do my laundry. My favorite thing that I had this girl Shayla. She was our house manager. We called her my assistant. She was a house manager. Let's be
Mhm.
real. She was.
That's the thing now. A lot of them
She
are hybrid roles. They help
it
in
is
as
so
like a
hybrid.
personal assistant, business
Yes.
assistant slash house manager
She
because
would,
we work from home. It's all
yeah. She
blurring
would
together.
pack and unpack me. Like I traveled a lot back then. I would walk into my closet and I would just like rip down everything that I needed for that trip. Or a lot of times I'm like, okay, I assemble it per outfit, going like, do I have every single piece for single thing? And we always had a go bag for all my stuff. She created go bags where it's like, this was my, my stuff at home, but this was my go bag. And she would pack it for me. And then I would literally like I'd grab my suitcase at the door and I pull it right back to the door when I get home. And she would do the laundry and she would unpack it. It was
Yeah, when you get home, they
so,
unpack it, they wash it, put everything away, put the luggage away.
it
Yeah.
was so magical.
So like and like you were saying, like what does
Yes.
the house manager do? Like this guy's like it's
This.
all the stuff that like it's really customizable to each family, what they can do.
Yeah.
They can do laundry is the biggest thing that most people want to hand off.
Yeah.
I always call it the laundry basket graveyard. It's like, we'll put stuff in the wash. And like, if we work from home, you pop up and you switch it over in between your calls, which is a bandwidth bleed because then you're not staying focused on what you need to focus on.
Okay. Let's touch on that. Because I think a lot of people think like, oh, I can do it. I have little pockets here and there. It's a huge bandwidth bleed.
Yeah. And this is the time hacking part that I love telling people about. And that's like a whole nother thing we'll talk about is like
Yes.
how
Yes.
it's like, as soon as you buy back your time, how you can structure your schedule to work in 15 to 20 hours instead of 40.
Thank you.
It's like a lot of multiplication by subtraction. There's a lot of stuff you don't even need to be doing. And then the stuff that you do need to be doing, batching it with your energy in mind, because then you can get a week's worth of work done in one day with a flow state focus day. I call them Phoenix days. Then you have your other days of like your little task splitting, you know, lots of connection, like usually outward facing with other people. I call those hummingbird days.
Phoenix days. I mean, okay, so I call Monday get shit done day. Like I kill the task list.
And the
Tuesday and Thursday are like
everyone,
my coaching, recording days.
If you work from home, either for yourself or for somebody else, whether you're like career person or entrepreneur, you absolutely need to have one day a week where you don't talk to a single soul. There needs to be one day where like you're on do not disturb all day long.
We've got Phoenix
like
days,
if that can't work, like you have to meet with people. If you work for another company and they're not going to allow that, then at least get 3 to 5 hours of just time to go within. That's when you tap into the muse. That's when you channel stuff. That's when you go into flow state. That's when you create your best stuff. And a lot of times you'll tap into it and then have to pop right back out and get on another meeting, go do other stuff. And so this is when, if my house manager is here, then I'm like, headphones on, like I'm unavailable for the next 3 hours and I will check in with you after that. Like I'm going to deep flow state. I put on my brain.fm in my headphones. It's like binaural beats that calms like if you're ADHD or something, right? Like you get these binaural beats and it like gets you super focused right away. All these little tricks.
Okay. When I was at Dr. Benjamin Hardy's event, the whole time he was speaking for an hour and a half, he had the binaural beats running.
Yeah. You absorb the information better.
My husband listens to it to be able to study. He's back in college right now. I didn't know that it was like this ADHD focus helping thing though.
Honestly, I feel like everybody focused, right but now, really everybody out there is self-diagnosing themselves as ADHD. This is what it is. It's a dopamine problem. And it's because we carry around these little dopamine hijacking devices.
Yes. I'm like, we don't have an ADHD problem. We have a distraction problem. Like
if we went off grid and went camping for a whole week and weren't able to get on the internet, our dopamine levels would reset back to normal levels and we would be able to focus really well and feel really good about accomplishing our tasks.
What happens right now, you need to have a dopamine leveling day.
Yeah. And so when you have these flow state focus days, you got to turn everything on do not disturb. Because this is the thing is you're going to start out and you're going to start working on something. You're going to hit a part where that things start to feel kind of hard. You're going to feel tempted to get up and get a snack or scroll or check emails. All of that is your brain wanting a quick dopamine hit. Resist it. Stay in the zone, your flow state zone, and like keep at it. Keep working through your stuff, because then when you overcome any obstacles and you're like, oh yes, I got this. I figured it out. Okay. Like all the copy is coming to me and I know what to put in my emails, or, I know what goes in my content for the next month, or whatever it is. Like anything that you're working on for yourself. Because on these days, you don't talk to anybody else. This is the stuff where you're talking to yourself, get all your ideas, execute on your ideas. Like all those projects that you've been putting off that is like the work on your business kind of stuff. This is the stuff that you get down on that time. And every time you feel like you're hitting a wall, you can't like go get a quick dopamine hit somewhere else, or you're gonna like never be able to come back. So you got to stay in it, because then it's like doing a jigsaw puzzle, right? Where you're like, this is hard. I'm getting up and I'm going to have a bowl of ice cream. Well, now you just hijacked your brain and your brain feels like you accomplished something without actually doing it. And so the same thing for these days, like you stick with it. Do not respond to anybody. Do not answer any emails. Do not check DMs. This is like no outward facing stuff. Everyone can wait. Yeah. And then when you get over that hump, then you're like, oh yes, I'm rocking and rolling. And you get all these things in place. And then you're going to feel like at the end of this day, you're going to feel so accomplished. You're going to feel so proud of yourself that you're going to be like telling your husband, you're going to be like, I did this today and I got like, man, I've been trying to get this done forever and I finally cranked it all out and I've been working on this for weeks and I finally finished all of it. Like you're going to feel so proud of yourself. Like keep that dopamine high because now that's like your baseline levels now is higher for the rest of the week. So, and here's the thing, you're going to think, I'm going to do that all over again tomorrow. No, the rule about these Phoenix days is you can't have 2 back to back because you will burn yourself out. Like your brain,
Okay,
like
so
the next
let's
day will
like
be like,
yeah, let's like dial. Okay, so let's like dial it back one quick second. So there are Phoenix days,
yep. So that's
hummingbird
like,
days,
yep.
and then flow state focus days.
Well, the flow state focus day. So I just assign like an animal to
Yes,
like
that's what I'm like. Or is the
understand the
flow state
energy of
focus?
it. So
Yeah.
the Phoenix goes with the flow state focus day.
Oh, okay.
So your flow state focus day is when you're in Phoenix energy mode. So you burn
Okay.
intensely until you're
Yeah.
ashes. And then,
Okay.
but the
So
amount of work,
Phoenix day is the flow
yep, the
state
flow state day.
focus
Yeah.
flow.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry to
Okay.
confuse
Okay.
anybody. But
Yes.
that
And then
is where you
hummingbird
get
days,
done like a week's worth of work in that one time block. And so
and
if
it
you
could be
look
a day, but it could be like, okay, at least give yourself 3 hours. You're like,
3
you
hours,
gotta at least
yeah.
give 3 hours.
Because it'll take it like at the beginning, it'll take you kind of like a minute to just even get your brain wrapped around stuff. And the more of these you do, like if you have one a week, you'll drop right into
Mine's
it quicker and
Wednesday.
quicker.
Yeah. So I stopped going to Pilates on Wednesday and my friends were like, oh, why? And I'm like, I just need one day a week where I don't see people and I don't, it's just like, I call it Wu Wei Wednesday, like go with the flow. I just need one day, y'all. Like I need one day to just sit and create. And it really is when I write all my episodes out. I write my
Mhm.
copy. I write every best thing
Yeah.
happens on
You
that
only
day.
talk to yourself on that day.
Well, and
And
I give myself permission to
yeah,
not respond back to people. Like, no, it's Wednesday. My team, like when I used to have a huge direct sales team, they knew that once it hit Saturday at 4, if you text me Saturday at 4, you're not hearing back until Monday at 9. You're just not. It's not happening. Like, no. I have a friend who, her and her husband have basically taken on the energy of Shabbat. He's a youth pastor, so they do it Friday to Saturday, and
yeah,
sometimes it's Saturday to
yes.
Sunday.
I just read a
And
book about a guy that does the same thing. He was like talking about that.
yes, and it is that
The
being fully
relentless pursuit
unplugged.
of an unhurried life. That's the name of the book.
Okay, no, the book is coming. It's just I ordered it a month. It's literally that book. I ordered it over a month ago. My friend Steph is
I just
also
read
reading
it
that
at a
book.
cabin while I was doing jigsaw puzzles.
What? Okay, this book. You're saying this. I'm like, where is this book? I've ordered this book.
I did Audible,
It said
so
likely delivered January 22.
sitting in a pile.
I'm like, but it wasn't likely delivered. That's
Put
funny.
it on the list for the house manager.
Likely. Oh, okay. That's so interesting. Okay, so to wrap this up for everybody, let's say someone just y'all are not there yet. You can't even wrap your brain around a house manager. You're still working through the things. If you can't wrap your brain around it, I actually think they should probably book a session with you, right? And you'll help them wrap their brain around it, correct?
Everybody can afford a house manager.
Thank you. Because
I
said
helped
you
a
think
guy
people
in
underestimate
college.
how much you
Yeah.
save, right?
So here's the thing is if you're
Well,
like, I want to
how
make
much
enough
does
money
it-
this year to be able to afford one, this is the
Yeah,
thing. You get a house manager
yeah.
in order to make more money.
That's what I said. You have to hire the help before you can afford it. It's
Yeah.
every single
And
time.
then
Like
the
you
other
hire it
thing
and
is a lot of people think like, because here's the thing, like my husband's business, he didn't go from like his original business now has like 25 employees, like 20 of them are here in town. And they're like American workers here, like all know each other.
yeah.
And then his coaching business that he has a couple people here and then he has people remote. You don't have a business and go from just a solopreneur to a team of 20 like
Overnight.
instantly. You don't even go to
No,
a team of 5
no.
overnight. You start with like one VA that you have for just a few hours and you give them the work as needed. So the same thing in your house. Right now, I have a personal chef. We're actually in between house managers. I don't have a house manager right now, but I did have a house manager for 15 hours a week. She would come 3 days. We also have like pool guy, landscaper,
Oh,
stuff like that. So
yes.
we
Yes.
didn't go from just like we had a baby, we need help, like
Yes.
all of a sudden we have 10 people helping us. No, we went from like we hire a babysitter for date night. Then it turns into, okay, we keep making our
Right?
pool green, so we're going to hire somebody to come and help us with our pool. Like you layer it on. And so the same thing for a house manager. Maybe you already have a deep cleaner at your house and maybe they're coming every week. Well, you can maybe move that gap and have them come every other week and then take the money that you're spending and then use that for a house manager to come and tidy up in between the deep clean.
Okay. But
Or
also
maybe you have somebody
return
coming every 2 weeks. Instead, you
Amazon.
move them to once a month and then you take that money to give to your house manager. If you're door dashing food or getting takeout or eating out a lot, have your house manager be in charge of some prep cooking for you. So that way you can take the money from that budget of eating out all the time and all the DoorDash. Like it's so
Okay.
expensive if you
Do you
live
help
on
people
DoorDash.
see, do you help people see where if they can't wrap their brain around how can I even afford this? Do you help them move their expenses around to help
Totally.
them
I love
create?
doing a spending audit. And so I tell people
Okay.
it's like,
Okay.
when we're
'Cause you know
little,
me, I'm like, I'll just make more money. But I know some people are like, well, I can't
you
just
are
make more money.
already
Like we're
spending
on,
the money in a less efficient way.
yeah, yeah. Like some people are, you know, what I mean? Some people are like, my income is fixed. So you're helping them find the little
Yeah,
gap
but
where
even
they
the
can
people with the most
create.
fixed income are still paying for Netflix, Hulu,
Yes.
Disney
Yes.
Plus,
Yes.
Spotify Premium, YouTube Premium, all these subscription services that they're really only
But
using
I just
one.
mean like that person that's like, there's just no way I can see this. You do help them
Well,
be able
like,
to see it.
so just say like if
Because
you
some people just
canceled, yeah,
can't.
like maybe,
But
and
you
this
help
is,
them.
and I tell people like there was a gal that I was talking to and she had a brand new baby. And I'm like, listen, like, what's your favorite streaming service? Okay, cancel the other five. There's already $100 a month that you can now allocate to having somebody come. So you figure out if there's somebody in your area that you can pay $20 an hour, which is a good gig. And so you pay $20 an hour. How many hours is that going to get you? Okay, take those hours. How do you want to distribute them? How many times are you going to have them come? And so maybe you have them. Our very first house manager that we had, she came for 5 hours a week, 3 different touches. It would vary. Some weeks was two times and sometimes three. So she would just come for like an hour. And I started by like I would watch. It was like the laundry
Oh,
basket
but what were you
graveyard
paying
that I would
her?
have the laundry in the baskets, and I just needed her to fold it and put it away.
But what were you paying her an hour that she was willing to come drop by for 1 to 2 hours at a time?
I would pay her $20 an hour, but she also taught yoga and worked another part-time job. So
And
there's
so it
so
was
many
worth it to
people.
her,
Yeah,
this
it
like
was just
extra
picking up some extra
$500 a
hours.
month.
Yeah. She
Okay.
had she had a
Yeah.
client that she would work with in my area. So she
Yeah.
would come over to our house and she would prep some food. She would put away laundry and just
Okay.
kind of like tidy stuff up
Okay.
before heading to go to her client. So like
Okay.
nowadays there's like this gig economy, right? There's like
It is the ultimate gig economy that we live in
so
right
there's
now.
baby boomers galore who are doing all the Instacart shopping.
They really are. I see them yes.
Like
Yes.
they would love to put away your laundry for you.
Yeah. But I think the other, like if I went to my husband and said, we're going to cancel some subscriptions, that's not going to fly in our house because we got to have every subscription for every sport. But what you said, where I'm like, there are places people are overspending because they're inefficient with their resources. So I'm going, okay, people are eating out way more than they think they are or that they even want to.
Or
And
even
that could
meal
be,
delivery. Like meal delivery is so
yes.
much more expensive than hiring someone to cook for you.
It's like that's where I go.
You'll
There's a
spend,
lot of places you can help someone reallocate
yeah.
their
Like our personal
resources.
chef comes once a week and she's here like 3 to 4 hours. She makes our entire week's worth of dinners for us.
Yeah.
And it's like $30 an hour. And so how much am I going to spend just going through the drive-through at Chick-fil-A one time because my kids eat like
Uh,
nuggets and a sandwich?
yeah. So what is one other thing that you feel like all moms could do or all women could do before if they're like, I'm not ready there. I'm not right there yet. But it's like, what's 1 to 2 things that they could do before they hire a house manager to at least save them time? Like a time hack that you see
Yeah.
across the board.
Here's the number one thing everyone can start doing today
Yeah.
is make a notepad in your phone
Yeah.
called the house manager list. And every
Oh,
time you go around your house and you're like, oh my gosh, this is another thing I would have a house manager do if I had one. Start adding all those things to the house manager list. And then that you just take that, copy and paste it, put it in ChatGPT and say, make me household SOPs out of this.
SOPs.
Standard operating procedures,
Okay.
business talk,
Yeah. I'm like, they don't know what that means.
business nerd
SOP.
talk. So there's
SOP.
standard operating procedures. So if you're at a corporation, they have certain operating procedures that you have to follow. Like this is the process
Yeah.
that you go through, and this is what done looks like.
Okay.
So that's another key thing is like when you have a house manager, like what does done look like? Not the husband
Mm-hmm.
version that's always like 10% left.
Oh my gosh, my husband's like oh, how do you clean the surface? By you putting everything in a drawer or in a cabinet. And I'm like, but now the drawers and the cabinets are unorganized. This is not better.
I'm like, we're so close. Like the sink is empty, but there's still scum at the bottom of it. We were so close. We were so close.
What is that though? Like he is the best at unloading and loading
Yes.
the dishwasher. And then I get
Like,
to the sink and
okay,
I'm like,
if
why
you
is the
haven't
sink
yet
dirty?
used, here's the other thing. In addition to a notepad, which you could just jot down stuff anyways, if you haven't already discovered the magic of ChatGPT where you can just dictate to it and then
Yes,
it
talk straight
transcribes
into
and
it.
saves it, like make
Yeah.
a project titled house manager and just start dictating like that kind of stuff, right? Like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
when I get a house manager, I want to make sure that not only do they empty the sink and load the dishwasher and like hand wash the things with the wooden handles and blah blah blah. Like you just
Sure.
talk to it like it's a person. But I
Yes.
also want to make sure
Yes.
that they actually like clean around the faucet and get the spots off of it and get the scum out of the sink and take the grate out and clean the underside of the grate. Like I want them to do that. That's what done looks like. Like just dictate to
Okay.
ChatGPT
That is like
and start
I do that.
making your
Yes.
own. Yeah. Like I
Oh
have
my
all these checklists and
gosh.
that's how I made them. So it's like
But
when I share my checklist with
Your
people, that's how I made them. I just dictate and then say, all right, let's turn this into a document that can help other people. But honestly, it's so easy to make your own documents. And then when you find that amazing person that's aligned with your family, then you are like, here's all these documents I made from ChatGPT. Go put this in a binder for yourself. Like make this into a manual for yourself so you can follow it and then continue to optimize it. Because that's like I say hero house manager. It's harmony, the feeling they give you in your own house, empowerment, they empower you, you empower them, resourceful, like we were talking about, our rural upbringing, becoming so resourceful. And you want people who are resourceful in your house that aren't going to think that every solution means going to the store and buying a new thing, but actually finding solutions that are already in your own house to save you money. And then optimization, where they're taking whatever you've already started and they continue to optimize it for themselves and they do it on their own. They don't need the like supervision to keep doing that. So that's a hero house manager. It's a type of a person.
I think what you did in describing what is done look like to me, because I think what some people think is attention to detail, my one of my current assist my she's my executive assistant. What I think excellence is and what she thought excellence was coming in were very far off, because
Yeah.
what excellence was for her old boss
Right.
and what excellence is for me were not in the same, I mean, they were not in the same galaxy. And so the core was great, but it took 9 months for us to get to that space
Mhm.
where we had the exact same idea of excellence. So that's why I love you saying recording, like even in cleaning a sink, what is done to me? And I
Mhm.
feel like that helps create so much more ease in the start of that relationship because you're setting that person up for
The
success.
expectation, yeah.
That
'Cause what
that
is
right there was my
disappointment? It's
favorite
unmet
thing that you said.
expectations. Yeah.
That was my favorite thing you said.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
and when our expectations unmet, it's when they're not communicated.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just knowing that, I mean, because that was the X level of excellence I was raised in. That's what done is where I was raised.
Yeah.
So realizing we've got to really paint that vision of what that is for other
Yes.
people.
And something I'll walk around and show them my house and I'll say, "Now listen,
Yeah.
I have come now to value my time so much
Yeah.
that good enough is good enough for me. However, I'm paying you to do a higher version of
Good
what I
enough is
do."
not good enough for,
Yes.
yes, like this
I'm
is
like,
the
I
reason I'm
actually want
hiring
it
you.
like, and so I tell my kids too, I'm like, when we
Yeah.
clean up the living room, we make it hotel lobby
Yes.
clean, right?
Yes.
Like we want to feel like we're walking into a hotel lobby that like
Yes.
nurtures us and makes us feel lovely when we come home. We don't
Yeah.
want it to just be like, okay, it's almost there. Like we don't want that
Yeah.
almost there feeling. And so the
Yeah.
same thing, it's like I'll tidy it up before I go to bed and I'm like, oh, the dog bones are everywhere, but whatever. They're going to pull them back out before I wake up anyways, so I'm not even going to worry about it. But if somebody else, if my kids are doing it because they're earning their technology time by doing it, or if I'm paying a house manager to do it, that's the different level. Like it needs to be hotel lobby version of it whenever other people do it. Like
Mhm.
when I
I
do
love
it,
that
that's another
hotel
thing is
lobby
I will
version.
say for moms, like also let go of that in yourself. Don't keep stressing yourself out to make it look like a hotel lobby, because here's the thing is like you're not going to feel relaxed in your hotel lobby if you're burnt out. So good enough is good enough.
But if you want hotel lobby, you should probably hire someone to get it there. I love that. Y'all, I have multiple pages of notes. I'm like, okay, I got to go find the Colby Index thing. I've got to get the fourth turning book.
You got to find that
I,
missing Amazon package.
I serious. seriously, that where it should have been delivered. It
You know
wasn't.
what? You just weren't ready to read it yet, so now you are.
Like what in the world? Like where did this get lost at? And I'm like, okay, see, but that's the thing that there, that is where I have so much help right now, but they're not physically here, and physical in my
Yes.
home help is so vital to me functioning well in life. So I think everybody, it doesn't matter where you're at. I think y'all could take so many days or so many things away from this. I'm also looking at the Phoenix days and the Hummingbird days, and I am at least already doing that right. So I feel really great about that. But I
Yeah.
think everyone can, that's a huge takeaway to going from a nanny plus to a house manager, what that looks like. And then we can all just start a note in our phone about creating a house manager list and then asking chat to do a standard ops procedure with that
Mhm.
and shooting out what that'll look like. So,
Yeah.
oh my
Like right
gosh.
now after the holidays, there's so many people that are like, "Oh my gosh, my decorations are still waiting to get put away." Like that, put that on the house manager list.
Mm. I think what people underestimate is how much bandwidth and sleep, bandwidth during the day, because they look at it and they feel shame and guilt that it's not done, and sleep because they're lying awake in the middle of the night with this massive list running through their head that they're never ever going to catch up on. Put all that energy together. Trust me, it's paid for.
Yeah. And like my all my staff, I put them on Voxer,
Mm-hmm.
which
The
is like a
walkie-talkie
common thing
app.
people use for business. So
Yeah.
this is the kind of stuff that like as I'm driving to go pick up my kids from school, if I think of something,
Oh,
I just leave a quick Voxer to my house
yeah.
manager or my personal
Or
chef
the
like,
chef.
yeah, you know what? I forgot to tell you in the garage, there's these boxes and they go in this spot and blah, blah, blah. Like
Yeah.
I can just like
Yeah.
verbally say the thing
Yeah.
and like send it off. And then by the time I'm home from picking up kids, it's already been done.
I love it. I'm obsessed. Okay, so y'all can find her at Brenda Noon Schmidt. All the links are below. Find her on socials. They can go to your website. They can like you're writing a book, so they'll be able to read that soon. You've got the Tenfold Your Life community that probably helps moms
Yeah,
hack
we do
all of this
regular
stuff.
calls where people can have Q&A. You can come and get help on the spot.
All of this stuff. I'm sure people can
Anybody who
hire
like
you.
here's the number one thing everyone wants to know how much somebody would
Yeah.
cost in their area. Go in
Yeah.
my DMs and DM me, send me your zip code, and I will let you know how much somebody would cost in your area so you can start budgeting for it.
You just know. Like how much is somebody in my area?
In Queen Creek, $20. I'm sure you can find somebody for $20.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it.
$20 an hour. And you can start with like 5 hours a week. That's $100. Where are you spending
Yes.
$100 that you can give to that?
I mean, that is, I think it's fine. For me, it's more finding the person.
Yes. Which I totally nerd out on. And
Yeah.
that's what those drop-in calls are for, where it's
It's
like
hands down the
we
finding the
screen
person.
share, we be like, okay, how did they reply to it? And
Yes.
I don't like that.
Yes.
Like go to the next
Yes.
person. Yeah.
Yeah. I make way more than $20 an hour, so it is a no-brainer for me to go. Like,
Yeah. If you're listening and you're in a bigger city, you're going to expect to pay 25, 30, 35. Some of the
yeah.
biggest cities like that have a lot of house managers.
Are you talking about like if I lived in Central Phoenix, I'd be paying more like 25 to 30, as opposed to now I live in
Even
the burbs.
Phoenix, like Arizona in general is lower, but I would say
It is.
like Atlanta. You go to Atlanta, you're going to pay like $35. You go to LA, you're going to pay $35.
Oh, 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 yes.
Chicago.
Yes. Okay.
The more expensive cities.
Well, like what about these people? I have a lot of people that are listening that are in, like Iowa or they're more
Yeah,
rural
smaller towns, you can
areas
probably
or
find like a 16 or $18 per hour person
yeah.
if you're in a
That's,
small town. It is a little bit more combing through like
yeah.
Facebook groups and Facebook Marketplace are great for small communities. Nextdoor app, referrals, go to the local daycares and preschools and ask them if there's anybody looking for additional work. Like asking around is your key in smaller towns.
Yeah.
Just posting on like a care.com or a job
Yeah.
posting place.
Yeah. Yeah. I keep hoping that there is
Hostesses at restaurants are usually also nannies. If you're
Oh
in a
my
small
gosh, that's a
town,
great idea because they
go to
have
a
like
restaurant,
the
ask the
pocket.
hostess if she has ever babysat or been a nanny before. And if she says yes, ask her if she's interested in being a house manager.
Yeah.
And then
That's
there's a whole
amazing.
interview process that you would take her through. I have like very specific interview
You
questions.
have all of that stuff on in your community.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
like I love asking people, how do you feel about tangled necklaces? That's one of my favorite interview questions.
Because I want the girl that wants to untangle the necklace.
Hmm. I don't
And then
ask
when
if
she
you like
goes to put the
untangling them.
tangled necklace
Yeah,
away, I want her to then look at my necklaces and
yeah.
organize my necklaces
Like
in a
you want
more
the people
efficient.
who get so much satisfaction out of completing that task.
Mm-hmm.
Not people like
Mm-hmm.
my husband who vomit in their mouth when I ask, how do you feel about that?
And then create a system so my necklaces never get tangled again.
Yeah.
Like
Like
that's what I want. I want you to.
people who have the satisfaction of a really dirty room because of the before and after, those are
Yeah.
your people. Yeah.
Yeah. You have good questions in there.
Oh,
Okay. I
I
love it.
love
Oh
that.
my gosh.
Sneaky questions. I love asking sneaky
Yes. Okay.
questions.
Well, everybody run to our community. Thank you for coming.
Yeah. So fun.
Thanks, Robin, for connecting us.
Oh,
Robin
I
has talked
know.
about
Thanks,
you for
Robin.
so
Robin's
long that I'm
amazing.
like, I have to meet this
I
person.
still haven't hung out with Robin. She's in my own town. My husband hung out with her. I haven't even hung out with her
You
yet.
have to. You have
She
to.
lives like 4 miles away.
Yeah. Well, it's clear up here, but my coach who wrote this book, I See You, which is all about women in unpaid labor, she's coming on the 19th and Robin's coming. It's here, but still,
Awesome.
it's not as far. It's only like an hour and a half from Robin's house, but I know you should come and do that with us and hang
Text
out
me
with
the
us. And
details.
then
I'll look at
I
my
will.
calendar.
It's like a breeding ground for your people.
Ugh, gonna go talk nerdy to everybody.
Yes, come talk nerdy and delegation and tangled necklaces to everybody at the event. So, well, thank you again for coming. I've loved it. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and we will talk to y'all next time.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks for listening to All Things Excellence. If something landed with you today, I'd love for you to follow the show, share it with a friend, or leave a quick review. It helps more women find these transformational conversations. And if you're ready for support with your next step, or needing someone to stand in the gap with you to figure out what that even is, I'd love to create that space for you. And my intro clarity call is a great place to start, because life is too quick and too full to have to figure it out alone. Until next time, All Things Excellence fam, thank you for listening.